Feel like lucid be my dreams. Said you love me, so I'm sure you know the means. It's like I'm living all inside a movie in a dream. Sequels to my life entirely up to me. Slowly suffocating, do you notice how it feels? Like, baby, can you hold me while I'm running through the field? Like,
but one thing for the rest of your life. I'm gonna go Twitter. Because they don't deserve it.
How do you describe Kevin Durant? What's going on with his personality? This guy seems obsessed with social media. I can't believe he's still doing this burner account thing.
Kevin Durant might have just ruined everything. I mean, look, I give this man all of his respect. He's a 15-time All-Star, a 2-time NBA champion, a 2-time Finals MVP. The man has...
To this day, I'm still telling y'all niggas, that was Curry's team. I don't give a fuck what a nigga say. And I fuck with KD, but that was Curry's team. That whole offensive system was built around how the fuck Curry plays. If you take Curry off of that roster, they win nothing. You take KD off of that roster, they still win. I'm telling y'all niggas.
One of the most effortless jump shots.
He was able to go off and average the points he did and win a Finals MVP. Because if you remember watching that shit, nigga, Curry's running to the corner open. KD has an open lane. Niggas is leaving KD open to go guard Curry at the 3, and then KD's just dunking and shit. Easiest amount of buckets he could put up in his life.
The history of basketball. At 37 years old, he's still averaging 25.8 points per game on the Houston Rockets this season. He's shooting over 50% from the field. He ranks 3rd in the entire NBA in minutes per game. And no one's really talking about this because LeBron James is also defying father time, but what Kevin Durant is currently doing is amazing. During All-Star Weekend, while every other star in the league was laughing and having a good time at the festivities in LA, Kevin Durant was caught on camera, and the look on his face tells you everything you gotta know. He was glued to his phone, pacing around the court, looking stressed, and the reason why? The internet was in the middle of exposing what they believe is Kevin Durant's latest burner account. This isn't just him defending his legacy against some fan. The messages here are really, really bad. I'm talking about leaked group chat messages where this account is allegedly trashing his own teammates, calling his franchise player out by name, saying he can't trust guys to make a shot, comparing his former teammates to literal dictators, and even...
Bro, I don't think KD's a leader, bro. I'm gonna keep it on it. We're gonna get to
better off on the Charlotte Hornets than the Houston Rockets. Bro, Kevin Durant just got on the Houston Rockets and
he would go to the Hornets and say, yo, they're too immature. Yo, they can't yo. He would do the same shit.
Already trying to jump ship to a different team? Now here's the thing. Nothing has been confirmed. Kevin Durant hasn't said a word about this, but the evidence that fans have put together is wild, and we're about to break all of this down. Because this isn't even the first time Kevin Durant has been caught up in a burner situation. This is like his 3rd time. And that history is exactly what makes this thing so believable to so many people. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? If you know anything about Kevin Durant, you know this man lives on Twitter. Like, genuinely lives there. He's one of the most active NBA superstars on social.
Real fans support through the tough times. How many teams have you demanded a trade from when things got tough? How long are you gonna cry about it? See what I'm saying? Like, yo, that was a good counterpoint. Put your money where your mouth is and improve the damn team. Get a load of this or what? See what I'm saying?
Social media.
What they're saying is not wrong though.
Yeah, and he has been for over a decade. KD doesn't have a filter.
I was talking about specific skill when I shot off the Kyrie and AI thing. I think Kyrie handles a little better. That's a legit take, right? Now everybody want to play for the Heat and the Lakers. Let's go back to being competitive. Yeah, that's why I play for the Warriors now.
Respond to a fan with 12 followers at 2 in the morning arguing about whether he's better than LeBron. He'll get into it with media members. He'll drop takes about other players. The man does not care. And honestly, for a while, that was kind of refreshing. In an era where every player has a PR team scripting their tweets, KD was just being himself. Look at how PR trained LeBron James is when he is asked about one of the most sensitive topics in the world right now.
If I have fans over there, I've never been there. If I have fans over there, then, I hope you've been following my career. I hope I inspire people over there to not only want to be great in sports, but I want you to be better in general in life. So hopefully someday I can make it over there.
The guy knows how to deflect every controversial topic and question that he gets asked. And what I'm saying is...
The thing about KD, he's not even necessarily PR trained. He's just that the shit affects him. It affects him because it's true. Like, the thing is like, it'd be different if he's clapping back at niggas with facts, but he's not clapping back at niggas with facts. The criticisms he's receiving, I fuck with KD, but the criticisms he's receiving is very valid.
Kevin Durant is pretty much the opposite. He's typically himself. But the problem with Kevin Durant on social media is that being himself sometimes means saying stuff that gets him in serious trouble. And the first time it blew up in a really big way was back in September of 2017. Let me give you a history lesson. Here's what happened. KD had just won his first championship with the Golden State Warriors. He was the Finals MVP. He left the OKC Thunder.
Hold on. This is okay. I'm gonna bring out another tab on the side. Let me just.
summer before, and everybody had clowned him for joining a 73-win team. The narrative was that he took the easy way out, that he couldn't beat him, so he joined them. And even though he won a championship, the criticism didn't stop. People were still coming for him every single day. So one night, a Twitter user named Cole Cashwell tweeted at KD asking him what his motives were for leaving OKC other than getting a championship. Pretty standard stuff. But what happened next was one of the most embarrassing moments in NBA social media history. KD responded to this fan, and what he said was insane. He said he didn't like the organization or playing for Billy Donovan. His roster wasn't that good. It was just him and Russ.
Bullshit. This is all bullshit, bro. This is all bullshit. Where he's like, oh, the team wasn't good. It was just him and Russ. Bullshit. But first of all, let's remember the fact that they were up 3-1 on the fucking Warriors. And they didn't finish the job because him and Russ choked. It wasn't the roster fault. It was them, nigga. It was them. Bro, this roster had Ibaka. This is what I'm gonna put shit in overall for niggas to understand, because a lot of you young niggas don't understand Ibaka or will know Ibaka like that. I would say Russ is probably like, I'm gonna do it in modern 2K terms. I'm gonna say back then KD's probably like a 96 overall. Russ is probably like a 93 overall, 94 overall. Ibaka probably like an 83 overall, and Steven Adams probably like an 84 overall. They was up on the Warriors 3-1. They just choked. And in that series, and if you look at the numbers, the nigga, you'll see 30 points, 8 boards, okay? 2.9 assists. But you're like, okay, cool. Bro, the nigga in the last games of those series, he's selling, bro. The nigga, look, overall him and Russ sold. Like, it is what it is. It had nothing to do with the roster. Look, he shot 42% from fucking the field and 28% from 3. The last couple of games he sold. Russ shot 39% and 31% from 3. Like, they sold. Yeah, Russ shot slightly worse than him, but 27, 7, and 11. You could really argue with almost 4 steals. You could really argue that Russ had a better series than him. I'm going to keep it 100. Ibaka, 12, 8, and a block. Adams, 10, and 9. Like, bro, the team wasn't like... He moved it like... If you look at the games, right? Look at Curry. 28. 44 from the field, valid, shooting splits, 41% from 3. They just got outplayed, 28, 6, and 2 steals. You could argue he had a better series than KD. You see what I'm saying? Draymond shot 35, bro. Harrison Barnes, how much points? Harrison Barnes averaging 9 points, my nigga. Like, just him, I'm sorry to go on this tangent, but just him, Russ and Ibaka were doing more than their top 3 scorers. He just sold. If you go to game 6, 29 points, 32% from 3, 12% from 3. 12% from 3, 32% from the field. I'm sorry to go on this tangent. We're gonna get off of this, but I just need y'all niggas to understand. Because you're gonna see he blames everybody when his team be losing. 38% from the field, 27% from 3, 3 for 11 from 3, 12 for 31 from the field. Bro, the nigga just sold. Game 5. 12 for 31 from the field, 38% from the field, 27% from 3. Bro, he sold. Bro, the nigga just sold. He sold. But you're going to see every time his team lose and he choked 3-1, every time they lose, you're going to blame somebody else. That Thunder's team was comp.
KD had secret accounts that he used to anonymously
My bad for that tangent.
himself online. The whole thing went viral instantly, memes everywhere. People were calling it Tweetgate. Sports outlets were running segments on it.
Tweetgate is
It became
crazy.
one of the most defining NBA moments that had absolutely nothing to do with basketball. Here you have a guy who finally won an NBA championship, who was the Finals MVP, one of the best scorers to ever play the game, and he's spending his free time creating fake accounts to argue with strangers on the internet about his own legacy. KD eventually addressed it at the 2017 TechCrunch Disrupt event. He said he took it too far.
I do have another Instagram account, but that's just for my friends and family, so I wouldn't say I was using that to clap back at anybody, but I use Twitter to engage with the fans. But I have to take it a little too far, and that's what happens sometimes when I get into these basketball debates, or what I really love is just to play basketball. I went a little too far. I don't regret clapping back at anybody or talking to my fans on Twitter. I do regret using my former coach's name and that former organization that I played for. That was childish, that was idiotic, all those type of words. I regret doing that, and I apologize to him for doing that.
He said he doesn't regret clapping back at fans, but admitted he went overboard defending his OKC exit. He later told GQ that he'd woken up from a nap and forgot to log out of his main account. Most people would have been embarrassed. They would have deleted their burners. They would have never done something like this again, and they would have moved on with their life. Not KD. In 2019, he went on ESPN's The Boardroom and straight...
I feel like everybody have a burner. I could understand having a burner to like argue with niggas about other shit, but I don't know if I would have a burner to argue and defend myself about shit. You know what I mean? Like, if a nigga, if you're going back and forth with a nigga on the gram and a nigga message you like, yo, he didn't like da-da-da-da, and he didn't like the team. He didn't like playing for Billy Donovan. Niggas gonna be like, yo, anyone responding like, yo, what the fuck are you talking about? You don't know this nigga. You know what I mean? I don't even see a point of you defending yourself on a burner.
Admitted that he used burner accounts.
I wanted a place where I could talk to my friends without anybody just butting in my conversations or taking everything out of context because I enjoyed that place.
How'd you come up with that idea though? Were you like, I'm trying to take this account and start going?
Yeah, I mean, I had an Instagram account that I just used for my friends and family and just turned over to Twitter as well. And it was just like, it was a cool place for me to just be me instead of worrying about Bleacher Report or Barstool, mixing up anything I want to say to CJ or my friends from back home, you know? I guess I tried to live a normal life out in the public, I guess.
Then in 2020, he went on the All the Smoke podcast on Showtime and doubled down.
I didn't like to use a burner phone. I would have said, fuck it, I'm Kevin Durant. I'm gonna cuss you out. You talk some shit. I'm gonna talk some shit. I'm gonna speak my mind.
I'm still gonna do the burner thing. I'm still gonna do that. It's something that you just gotta be like, these folks are always.
He told Alex Rodriguez on the Core podcast that same year that I still have burners that I use for sure. And honestly, at the time, people kind of let it go. They laughed about it. KD leaned into the joke. When Meta launched Threads in 2023, he literally tweeted from his verified account, on Threads with a burner, come find me. It became part of his brand. KD's a burner guy.
13 million views, holy shit.
The butt of the joke. But here's where it gets really bad. Those burners weren't just used to talk with friends. He wasn't just innocently defending his legacy. Those burners were used for something way more sinister that can alter Kevin Durant's reputation and his career for the rest of his life. Alright, so let's get into how this whole thing started. It's February 15th, 2026, All-Star Weekend in Inglewood, California. KD is about to play in his 16th All-Star game. Everything is supposed to be celebratory, but Kevin Durant, being Kevin Durant, is on Twitter. He gets into an exchange with a fan about the NBA's redesigned trophies. It's pretty harmless stuff. KD says that the trophies look fine. The fan disagrees.
Yeah, the trophies look fine. I feel like niggas is dicky.
Standard Twitter back and forth. But then a user named Pranav Sriraman jumps in and flips the whole conversation. Instead of talking about trophies, he starts pressing KD about his investment in a drone company called Skydio, which had reportedly sold drones to the IDF. Pranav hits KD with, they look cheap and uncreative. There, I answered your question. Will you answer my question?
Why do you hate the trophy so much? So he responded to his shit just avoiding the question. They look cheap. Okay,
about Skydio, a drone company you invested in, selling to the IDF, or will you stick to your brand of deflecting and ducking, which had reportedly sold drones to the IDF? Pranav hits KD with, they look cheap and uncreative. There, I answered your question. Will you answer my question about Skydio, a drone company you invested in, selling to the IDF, or will you stick to your brand of deflecting and ducking? KD doesn't respond. Crickets. But the thread keeps going.
Okay, one thing I do want to say about the whole investing thing, I find it very like, okay, how he handles this matters. But I think it's very weird for niggas to criticize a nigga for investing in a company and then some other niggas using that company to use that company to do some whatever, you know, do some shit. You know what I mean? I feel like it's different. Like, for example, that's like if I fucking invest, if Jordan owns Jordan owns a percentage of the Jordan brand and you're like, yo, isn't it crazy how you have the Jordan brand and Israel's buying fucking, the IDF is buying Jordan shoes for their fucking soldiers to use to go and kill people? Like, they're killing people in those shoes. Like, how the fuck can he control that? If he invests, I think they did the same thing with Curry. If someone invests in a company and other niggas go and start using whatever that company, like he invested in a drone company. The drones are used to deliver packages, deliver food, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, people use drones for a variety of things, catch videos or whatever, or for like music videos and shit, whatever. If motherfuckers buy those drones and start using them to like kill people, I don't really think you should necessarily go and blame a nigga for that. Because then like that has nothing to do with, like, you can't control what a nigga does with the product that you invested in. It's not even that the product you made, you invested in it. You can't control what somebody does. Now, if this nigga get on here and he like, and what about it, nigga, then that's different. I could see, you know?
And that's when another user named BasedFrog23 enters the chat and drops what would become the bombshell of All-Star Weekend. He replies asking if KD will address the burner account under the handle @GetHigher77.
Oh shit, so he was avoiding the Palestine and Israel conflict, and then niggas exposed them. Holy shit.
Calling out how all of KD's friends appear to be in a group chat connected to the account, and how the user has been trashing his teammates in those chats.
Wow.
And then the screenshots stop dropping one by one.
Wait.
Stop. Within hours, the account goes to a group
No.
chat.
He's moving too fast.
To the account, and how the user has been trashing his teammates in those chats. And then the screen.
Coach called that play to pass to Alfie. Sengun, Allah, I'm gonna turn the ball over with this shitty ass team. I don't give a fuck. Your franchise player can't shoot or defend. That's a way bigger issue than my turnovers. Remember, these guys are your future. These Rockets fans are hurt and starting. So, like I said, you asked to go there. Like, I don't understand this. Okay,
shots stop dropping one by.
I can't trust Jabari to make a fucking shot or get a stop. Just don't give him a tech free throw to be honest. He's low-key retarded. Oh my god. This is bad.
They don't stop.
Mind you, all of these niggas are young. These niggas are like 22, 23. Holy shit.
Within hours, the account goes private, but the damage is already done. The internet has seen everything. Before we get into what these messages actually say,
he's gonna read them.
Why
Okay, bet.
fans are so convinced that this account belongs to Kevin Durant.
It's him,
even
bro.
though nothing is confirmed, people have put together some pretty compelling circumstantial evidence.
It's him, bro.
The first piece of evidence is the owl. The account @higher77 uses an owl as both its profile picture and banner image. And here's where it gets interesting. KD's verified account @KDTray5 tweeted that same exact owl gif back on February 9th, 2021. The burner account was created in August of 2021, just a few months later, using that same owl image. Is it possible a random fan took that image and used it? Sure. But the connection
It's him, bro. It's him, my nigga.
Evidence number 2 is the shared block list. An account called @CGBBurner, also known as Can't Guard Book, which is a pretty well-known Suns fan account, posted that they're blocked by KD on both his verified...
Yeah, there's no way that burner isn't Kevin Durant. He has blocked me on both of his accounts. Talk about petty. I think if you block one nigga, if you block a nigga on one account, it blocks on the other. Yeah, that's his shit.
Account and the alleged burner account. Think about that. If the burner was just some random fan, why would it have the same people blocked as KD's real account? That's a pretty suspicious overlap. The third piece of evidence is the inner
Actually, I don't know if it's the same like that for Twitter, but I know for Instagram, if you block a nigga on one account, it block him on the other.
The people in the group chats connected to this account reportedly include individuals from KD's inner circle, private coaches, league friends, people who would have access to behind-the-scenes basketball information. The account didn't have a huge following, only about 75 followers, and it was set to private, which is exactly what you would expect from someone trying to keep their burner under the radar. And then there's the player perspective. This is the one that really seals the deal for a lot of people. The messages themselves sound exactly like Kevin Durant. The tone, the frustration, the specific references to plays, coaches, and teammates. The account talks about things from a first-person player perspective. Stuff like, coach called that play to pass to Alpi, and every time out, he got me sitting in the corner. These are not takes of random...
CP ain't it. Okay, rush past it more. Every time out... Oh, wait, no, which one? Okay, no, that's just him. CP really ain't it. That's
fan would have. These are things someone who is actually...
See, he was playing with the Suns. See, he blamed every... I feel like every organization you go to, we blame niggas.
Actually on the court would say. And evidence number 5 is KD's own admissions. We already know KD has burner accounts. He's admitted it multiple times on All the Smoke in 2020, on the Court podcast, and in his 2019 boardroom interview. And as recently as October 2025, he went on the Pivot podcast and talked about using social media as a quick release for his emotions that he doesn't want bottled up.
So, like, yeah, I see these comments and I see when people say different things. It's hard not to see it, but I don't want to build up all of this hate towards, you know, media or fans.
I understand him having a burner to diss niggas and shit, but like dissing your teammates is kind of wild. And when it's everybody, you have to hit a point where it's like, maybe I'm the problem. You know what I mean? Like, it's for sure him. I think I seen a response that he did. He's like, when niggas asked him about the league conversation, he was like, I know this is your job to ask me this, but I just I'm here to play basketball. If you get exposed for, if niggas came out and said you said something on account you know you didn't say anything on, you wouldn't be saying, you like, bro, that shit is not my fucking account. Like, bro, this is some internet shit, people trying to start drama. That has nothing to do with me. You wouldn't even, like, try to move off of the subject or, like, not even confront it. If you know you didn't do some shit, you're gonna be like, yo, I didn't do that shit. Like, I mean, that's not my account. You know? That's him. It's not a doubt in my mind. That's him.
So when you add all of that up, the owl picture, the shared blocked accounts, the inner circle connections, the first-person player perspective, and the fact that Kevin Durant has openly admitted to using burners for years,
it's his account,
really hard for people to just wave this off as a troll. Is there a chance this is all fake and some dedicated fan created an elaborate roleplay account? Absolutely. But the court of public opinion has already made its ruling. And now we get to the messages, and these are really bad. I'm gonna warn you guys right now, some of this stuff is rough, because if these messages are real, KD went after everybody, his current teammates, his former teammates, coaches, everyone. Let's start with his current Rockets teammates. The account posted about Alperen Şengün, who is Houston's franchise center, their all-star this year, the guy who just replaced Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in the All-Star game, and the supposed future of the franchise. The message said, coach called that play to pass to Alpi, LOL. I'ma turn the ball over with this team. I don't care. Your franchise player can't shoot or defend. That's a way bigger issue than my turnovers. Remember, these guys are your future. Then it gets worse. About Jabari Smith Jr., the second overall pick in 2022, who Houston drafted to be a cornerstone piece, the account wrote, I can't trust Jabari to make a shot or get a stop, and then used a slur to describe him. This is a 22-year-old kid that the Rockets literally traded for Durant to come mentor. The whole reason Houston brought KD in was to help develop players like Jabari Smith Jr. and Alperen Şengün. And
bro, how do you just go to practice the next day and just see this nigga knowing he called you saying that, talking like that, bro?
Allegedly behind closed doors, he's in group chats calling them out like this, and it didn't stop at the Rockets. The account even said that the Hornets have better young players than Houston. Houston and that he'd be better on Charlotte than on the Rockets. It's just so funny how the grass is always greener on the other side for Kevin Durant. He just got to Houston, a team that finished second in the Western Conference last year, and he's already looking at the streaking Charlotte Hornets. But again,
and he'll go to Charlotte and do the same shit. He'll go to Charlotte and do the same shit. Like, I need y'all niggas to understand. Right now, the Rockets are the 3rd seed, right? I need you to understand. Last year with Kevin Durant, the fucking Suns, I don't even think they made the... Did they make the fucking playoffs? Let's look. The Suns were the 11th seed. They won 36 fucking games. They added no one to that roster. The only one they swapped was KD for Jalen Green and Dillon Brooks. They won 36 games all of last year with Kevin Durant. Fast forward a season later. These niggas already have 32 wins. And are positive. They're the 7th seed. I'm just saying. What did KD make them? Was it their fault? Was it their fault? Was it everyone's fault that team was bad? And not KD's? Like, he blaming everybody. You know what I mean? Like, but I fast forward 1 year. They didn't add anyone better than KD. Dillon Brooks isn't better than KD. Jalen Green's not better than KD, but they're doing better as a team. I'm just saying, bro.
Gets even worse. Let me walk you through what the account allegedly said about KD's former teammates, because nobody was safe. Let's start with Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns. Remember, KD spent about 2 seasons in Phoenix, and apparently that experience left some scars. The account compared Booker and former Suns head coach Frank Vogel to dictators, and not just any dictators. The message said 2 dictators, Stalin and Hitler, Mussolini and Kim Jong-un. I mean, come on, that is insane.
Like, I feel like KD, he be blaming everybody, but I feel like KD not a leader. Like, I don't think you can take KD, have him be the leader, the main guy on the team, and win, is what I'm saying. Like, with the Warriors, that wasn't what his role. He was just there, he getting easy buckets, he there to, like, close out and do shit like that. Like, you have to look at it for what it is. Frank Vogel won a championship after Kevin Durant. Devin Booker made the finals before Kevin Durant, Kevin Durant, when was the last time he won a chip? 2018? Frank Vogel won in 2020, no? Devin Booker made the finals in what, 2022 or 2021, and was 2 games from a chip. Like, now they're the problem now. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, bro.
The Suns are my team when we lose and Book's team when we win, which honestly gives you a pretty clear window into the frustration, because that's something only a player would feel. When the team wins, Booker gets the credit. When they lose, it all falls on KD.
Because you're going to somebody else's team. You're being brought in as the guy. Oh, you're going to put them over the top, but it's still Booker's team. So when they lose, they're going to be like, yo, KD, he not living up to the trade. He was supposed to be the nigga that sent him over the top. And when they win, it's going to be, yeah, Booker's team, because it's Booker's team. You went there to play with who? Booker. You see what I'm saying? That's why it's different. If he was still on OKC and any nigga who came and played, they would look at it as his team, no? You see what I'm saying? Like,
Kyrie Irving.
He
KD
fucked
and
himself.
Kyrie were supposed to be the dynamic duo in Brooklyn. They chose to team up together, but there were times where things got a little weird.
In my past life, like I said, I was you. I was you. What you are now, that's what I'm up here. Same mentality.
They brought in James Harden to form a super team, but injuries, Kyrie's controversies, and team dysfunction blew that whole thing up. The account said something along the lines of Kyrie being on his best behavior around the European, referring to Luka Doncic in Dallas, but treating his own people, meaning KD, like they owe him something. It's a pretty deep...
I'm sorry, but the Nets just got fucked. Like, the Nets, every nigga knew the Nets were going to dominate the league. They got fucked. What was the mayor of New York? Eric, whatever the fuck, he fucked them. Bro, they weren't letting Kyrie play because of COVID. So they're like, you can't play home games, you can play away games, which makes no fucking sense. Because they're like, he doesn't have the vaccine. So this nigga Kyrie, say he got COVID, right? That's why he wasn't allowed to play home games. He could go travel in a team plane and play away games. And go to the practice facility and be around these niggas 24/7. He just couldn't play at home. What difference is that solving? What difference is that making? If he's still around him 24/7 and he can play away games with them, what difference would that make? It was so stupid. February, Harden gets frustrated. He requests a trade. He leaves. Less than a month later, that nigga lifts the fucking ban and lets Kyrie play. That's why that playoffs, I think they played against the Celtics. That's why Kyrie was playing in that series. They lifted the ban a month after Harden got traded. After that, their team was done. Like, he fucked the Nets. He fucked the Nets.
Think about it. KD is essentially saying Kyrie was a different person around Luka than he was around him. Then we get to Russell Westbrook, and this one might be the funniest, even though it's disrespectful. The account referred to Russ as a triple-double cocaine bear. I'm not even gonna lie, that's an absolutely wild thing to call somebody.
No, wait,
he was around him. Then we get to Russell Westbrook, and this one might be the funniest, even though it's disrespectful.
Pull the numbers for all those guards, and I bet it's similar all around. That pick disproved it, though. That's the point, Law. I wouldn't say Kai was competing with me, but the light skin and that triple-double cocaine bear was. He's talking about Curry and Russ. That's crazy. See what I'm saying?
Referred to Russ as a triple-double cocaine bear. I'm not even gonna lie, that's an absolutely wild thing to call somebody. In context, the account was comparing how OKC Russ passed the ball more than whoever they were talking about currently. One chat member pointed out that Russ averaged a triple-double that year, which is true. Russ averaged 31.6 points, 10.7 rebounds, and 10.4 assists in the 2016-17 season, the season after KD left, and the account basically dismissed it like it meant nothing. The Steph Curry and Golden State messages are interesting too. The account said, I started holding Steph accountable in film, and people looked at me like this.
Yes, because you're on his route. You went to his team. The team that went 73-9 and just came off a chip. Or won a chip the year before. Or the year before that. Like, see what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
With a meme
You're in his
attack to
system,
someone looking
nigga.
confused.
You're in his
the implication
system.
being that KD tried to hold Curry accountable in film sections, and the Warriors organization didn't take kindly to it. Another message said something about how if you don't screen and pass up shots for Steph, you're getting waived, which honestly feeds.
Like, this is some hating ass shit. I ain't gonna lie. This is some hating shit. I would love to see, I would have wanted to see what his reaction was after the Warriors won the chip in 2022. I would want to see what he said, nigga. I wanted to see
the
that.
Narrative that KD has kind of hinted at before, that the Warriors system was always Steph's system, everyone else
Yeah,
was just
it
there
is.
to support it. There's also a comment about Steve Kerr that referenced the time Michael Jordan punched Kerr, which is a wild thing to bring up in a group chat. Now, this is all consistent with how Kevin Durant felt about Golden State. If you remember, it's always Steph's system, everyone else was just there.
Since MJ punched Kerr in the face, you don't fuck with Darcy. What the fuck?
Support it. There was also a comment about Steve Kerr that referenced the time Michael Jordan punched Kerr, which is a wild thing to bring up in a group chat. Now, this is all consistent with how Kevin Durant felt about Golden State. If you remember in his podcast with Draymond Green a couple of years ago, he mentioned the reason he left Golden State was because everything about the Draymond Green and Kevin Durant situation was swept under the rug, and they never spoke about their problems openly. But
that was part of the reason. Another reason is that niggas said, yo, you went to a 73-9 team who they were probably going to add a piece in the offseason anyways and probably would have went back and won. Like, they went up 3-1. You know what I mean? LeBron's getting older. Bro, they probably would have went back and won anyways. You went to that team that fucking you just choked a 3-1 lead to. Nobody gave you your credit or kudos for winning that chip at all. Like, yeah. You know what I mean?
Funniest part of all is what he's...
Like, we could argue in 2015, yeah, Kyrie and Love were injured, but you could also, nigga, 2016, Bogut was injured, Draymond fucking missed the game, and Curry wasn't 100%, and they still went up 3-1 on them niggas. Like, so we don't know. Bro, I really think that if the Warriors ran back, they probably still would have won, to me, to be honest, and they probably would have added someone in the offseason if it wasn't KD.
Said about Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons, of all people, got a shout out here. The account allegedly said, I swear I miss Ben Simmons. At least that dude would give me the ball. When Ben Simmons is the guy that you're nostalgic about, that's when you know things are bad. But it also tells you something about KD's frustration. In Brooklyn, Simmons was widely criticized for refusing to shoot. But apparently from KD's perspective, at least he was willing to share the ball. And about James Harden, the account described
Ben Simmons willing to share the ball with anyone, nigga. Bro, he could be wide open. He gonna share the ball. Bro, Ben Simmons gonna share the ball and fucking, like, doesn't matter. He could be wide open and he's sharing the ball. You already know.
As slightly delusional, but I understand him, which is actually one of the tamer takes in this whole league. But still not...
Back to what I was saying, just not to cut it off, but yeah, the Warriors would have signed someone even if it wasn't KD offseason. I think, bro, Curry was still making like $11 million. Like, I think Curry didn't get his big deal until 2017. Bro, was it 2017? Let me check. In 2017, he agreed to a supermax, a $201 million contract. The first to exceed 200. When did KD go to the Warriors? Was it 2016? Yeah, 2016, the Warriors choked 3-1. He went there in 2016. And then the 2017 season came after that. Bro, they would have signed someone anyways.
Want to say about
they were good. They were going to win.
Now here's where this whole thing gets even more wild, because while these screenshots were going viral, KD was physically at the All-Star game, and cameras caught everything. Video started circulating of Kevin Durant pacing around the court before the game even started, completely locked into his phone. His expression was
panicking.
He wasn't smiling, he wasn't engaging with other players. While other All-Stars were laughing, dapping each other up, and enjoying the atmosphere, KD looked like a man who just found out his secrets were all over the internet. Because, well, they were. There's one clip in particular that went super viral where a staff member tries to redirect KD, and you can see him force this strained smile before turning away. It's the kind of body language that screams, I know something bad is happening right now, and I'm trying to hold it together. Multiple fan accounts shared clips of him constantly checking his phone throughout the entire night, even while seated on the bench in his warm-ups. And his actual performance in the All-Star game reflected the distraction. KD finished the night with just 12 points across all 3 mini-games, shooting 5 of 15 from the field in 28 minutes. For a guy who's averaging 25.8 points per game this season, for a 15-time All-Star, that's an awful showing. In the championship game, he failed to score a single point in 6 minutes and missed all 4 of his shots. His team got demolished 47-21 in the final. Was it just a bad day? Maybe. All-Star games aren't exactly known for giving maximum effort, but the timing is impossible to ignore. While everyone else is having fun at the biggest NBA party of the year, KD looked like a man watching his world burn in real time. Now, I gotta be fair here, not everyone's buying this story, and there are some legit reasons for skepticism. The biggest argument against it is simple. KD doesn't need a burner to talk trash. This man will respond to a fan account with 50 followers from his verified account at midnight on a Tuesday.
Talking shit to a fan is different from you talking shit about your peers in the NBA, man. Again, it's not the same thing. So that is not even an equivalent. He's not on his burner saying, he's not on his main account saying, yo, Russell Westbrook, that is a cocaine bear. He's not saying that. It's not
he
even
literally
equivalent.
does not care about saying what he thinks under his own name.
Yes, he does.
There's also the fact that screenshots
under his name, but not others.
Can be faked. None of the leaked images include verified metadata, IP confirmation, or
Nigga,
any kind of...
I fuck with KD. That's him, nigga. That's him. From that interview where he was like, yo, like, I'm here to talk about basketball. I'm not here to talk about that. I knew it was him. If you didn't do that shit, you're going to sit there like, bro, that's not my fucking account, bro. Like, what the fuck?
Platform authentication. Social media impersonation happens all the time, especially with high-profile athletes. Someone could have created this account, built an entire persona around being KD in group chats, and we'd have no way to tell the difference from the screenshots alone. Do with this what you will. The NBA invited a bunch of influencers to All-Star Weekend. They didn't invite your boy, so make sure you subscribe so maybe I could end up there in the future. Neon was one of them, and he reportedly talked to KD directly and claims Durant told him that the account isn't his. But that's a denial through an intermediary.
Obviously he's going to say that, but when he's in an interview, he's not saying that.
Kevin Durant himself. And what is Kevin Durant going to do? Come out and say, yeah, this burner that makes me look bad is definitely me. But here's the most important part. How does this affect the rest of the Rockets season? Whether the account is Kevin Durant's or not, the damage is already done.
Has the Rockets played since?
In the NBA, and right now, the perception is that Kevin Durant is secretly trashing his young teammates behind their backs. Think about what this means for the Rockets. Houston is 33-20 at the All-Star break, 4th in the West. They signed KD to a $90 million extension.
They did?
In October of 2025.
Oh shit, I didn't even know that. Yo, the Rockets played the Hornets. That's funny, crazy. They played the Hornets today. KD dropped 35. He had a good game, 35. Sengun shot horrible, 6 for 16, 0 for 3. Nigga, that shit might be fucking with that nigga head. That shit might be fucking with that nigga head, bro. The whole team. Bro, look at the whole team. 5 for 12, 1 for 5 from 3. 3 for 7, 2 for 6 from 3. He shot decent. Thompson, 3 for 8 from the field, 0 for 3 from 3. Tari Eason, 2 for 9, 1 from 6 from 3. 6 for 16, Sengun. Yo, the only one who shot good was Jabari and KD that game. Yo, that shit might be fucking chemistry, I ain't gonna lie.
With the specific purpose of having him mentor their young core and lead them toward a championship. The whole point was that KD would be the veteran presence that helps guys like Sengun, Jabari Smith, and the Thompson twins develop into winners. And now those same young players might be seeing their supposed mentor say that he can't trust them to make a shot in private group chats.
I don't think he's a leader, bro.
In a locker room. And when your franchise player, even allegedly, is out here comparing former teammates to dictators and saying the Hornets have better young players than your team, that's a problem. Jabari Smith is 22. Sengun is 23. These are young guys who look up to a player like Kevin Durant. How do you look him in the eye in practice knowing he might think you're trash? The Rockets don't play again until Thursday, against the Hornets of all teams. So we'll see if KD addresses it before then, if reporters press him on it, or if he just does what he usually does and pretends nothing happened. But this isn't going away. The internet never forgets. And in the age of screenshots, nothing ever truly stays private.
I've heard some of the most cruel things over social media. You know, people hoping that I get hurt. I've seen, I hope you tear your ACL tweets. I've heard racist remarks. I've heard everything.
All right, man. I really didn't want to make this video simply because I'm literally working on a video titled Never Forget the 2021 Brooklyn Nets. If you know that team at all, I'm praising the hell out of Kevin Durant.
Yo, 2K need to start sorry, this is a whole side topic, but 2K need to start adding teams like that, like the Brooklyn Nets, the Suns, the Harden Clippers. They need to add teams like that. So this feels
extremely weird. If you've been living under a rock,
and like failed super teams and shit.
KD recently, allegedly, got exposed for basically shitting on everybody. Old teammates, current teammates, old coaches. I mean, if true, and there is a slight chance that it's not true, but based on how KD's moved in the past and his track record, I just believe it. And if I'm wrong, I will come on camera and I will apologize.
But KD, what about the burner? The burner accounts. Did you have a little...
I'm sorry to go off topic. I just need to bring this up.
Any questions? Kevin, there was allegations over the All-Star break that you used the burner account to disparage current and former teammates. The handle for the burner was @GetHigher77. Is that your account? You send a message.
I know you gotta ask these questions, but I'm not here to get into Twitter nonsense. It's here to focus on the season, keep it pushing. But I know I get you gotta answer those questions.
Oh my God.
Talk about it all with your teammates.
My teammates know what it is. We've been locked in the whole season. Enjoyed our break. Had great practice today. Looking forward to this road trip.
See what I'm saying? Like, if you know that's not your shit, you're just like, yo, this is just some bullshit. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do that.
But switching back and forth.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Why?
Because I wanted to be stealth. I didn't want nobody to know that was me. I mean, that's really why you get a burner account.
I can see you cussing him out. I can see you cussing out, what's his name, Windhorse, all them, Sham Sharania. Why are you so worried about what the man living in his mama basement say about
I mean, he need to know too.
Mutual followings, the fact that his podcast homie was in that group chat, and simply how KD even moved at the All-Star break. It just looks like KD, bro. The page instantly got protected. Even how KD got exposed for having the page is the most KD thing possible. Dude just randomly jumps into a comment about the Larry O'Brien trophy that had absolutely nothing to do with him and got all his dirt allegedly put on Front Street. The most Kevin Durant sequence ever. And if you would have told me that this happened to an NBA player without saying their name, I would instantly guess, that had to be KD. Hey bro, I'm serious. I've made plenty of videos about KD. Again, I literally have a video coming out kind of about him and his team within the next 48 hours. We're in 2026 now. We know he basically changed his legacy forever 10 years ago. And if you look at the trail of events,
that was 10 years ago. Holy fuck.
Failed super teams, drama, everything this man has been through within those 10 years, it has been the most insane sequence ever. The video I played in the intro, bro, that was 12 years ago. Pre this move, pre this man becoming like one of the biggest NBA villains ever, and at a time where KD was arguably the most likable player in the league. This was in 2014. What the hell was happening in 2014? Dude just won MVP. He just had this iconic MVP speech about his mom. KD was playing with the easiest target, the lowest of low-hanging fruit, the biggest scapegoat in the history of the NBA, in my opinion, Russell Westbrook. So naturally, that makes you a bit more sympathetic for KD. His GM just broke up what looked like it could have been a super team that won multiple championships. His shoe run was absolutely insane. When I was in high school, if you had the KD 4s and specifically those special ones like the Pearls, the Galaxies, you was him. So again, this is what KD's NBA life used to look like before all this social media stuff, before all the Golden State stuff. I even found this article way in 2010 where they were praising KD for how nice and how polite he was. Dude was literally like an NBA darling. And then this happened, mixed with everything that came along with that. I'm sorry, you're not going to make a move like that week and not have to pay for your NBA sins. Even Bron had to. Yeah, Bron, you got your championships, but mixed with those championships, you had one of the biggest choke jobs in the history of the sport. You just got to pay for it. And it's like the accumulation.
And you know what's crazy? That Heat team really wasn't that good. I'm sorry to keep it up. I'm sorry. LeBron is the first nigga that I really remember where niggas really planned in the offseason and went and made a team and they had to alter the tampering shit because of that. But that Heat team was ass. I'm gonna keep it 100. Now that team would get fucking stomped out. If you remember in the playoffs, I'm sorry niggas gonna be yo, D-Wade and Bosh were not doing what niggas thought. Bro, niggas saying D-Wade probably putting up 27 and no, nigga, if you go to the playoffs and look at, bro, they had series where Bosh and Wade were averaging Bosh was averaging 11 or 12 points in the playoffs, the whole playoff run. And then fucking D-Wade was averaging 15. And then LeBron's averaging 29 or 30. And then the rest of the team is just fucking ass. You know what I mean? That team was not as sick as niggas remember. I'm telling you. At that time it was though. At that time it was because you didn't have all these high level role players and there wasn't as much But now that team would get dog walked by like the fucking Nuggets. So I'm keeping it 100.
Of all the hate this man has gotten over the years, basically for ruining basketball for 3 years, he's still passive-aggressively trying to defend on Twitter. Directly after winning that championship in 2017, he gets exposed for trying to defend the weakness of that weak-ass move. This is what kind of makes it look so real now because we've seen him do it before, trashing his old teammates back then, and he's still doing it allegedly now. So yeah, cool. You ruined the league for a few years. If you want to know exactly how you ruined the league, bro, everybody was trying to build their team to beat this unstoppable force in Golden State. Steph could miss a month. They went.
The Raptors were the only team that built a team that could actually compete with them. I don't give a fuck what a nigga say.
80% of their.
They started to go off on a tangent, but the Raptors were the only team that really built a team that could go head to head with this team. I'm keeping it on it. That's why when the Warriors, I'm sorry, I'm gonna get on this tangent. That's why when the Warriors played these niggas, I knew. I have a picture of me saying in 2019 before the series started, I was like, Raptors in 6. Because I knew either one of them niggas was going to get injured or they were going to get burnt out. Because, bro, the Raptors had, like, Kyle Lowry, then off the bench, like, all-star Fred VanVleet. The second Kyle Lowry get tired, Fred VanVleet coming in the game. At the 2, Clay. The second Danny Green get tired of guarding him, they're putting in Norman Powell. Now Clay he's gassed, he has to guard Norman Powell. The second Kawhi gets tired of guarding fucking KD, they would just switch him on to Clay and then put in OG. OG was injured that whole series, by the way. They put in OG. OG been nice. 4, the second Pascal give Draymond some buckets and he started getting tired. Ibaka coming in the game. Then they had Marcus at the 5. That team was perfect to go against the Warriors. They didn't beat them in star power, but they had an all-around team of like 5 to 6, maybe 7, 8 all-star caliber players. Man, I'm gonna keep it 100. So they didn't beat them on top-end talent, but they beat them all around. That's why even if healthy, I don't know. Niggas like to say if Clay was there, if Clay was there, they were already down 3-1. Clay took another game, and then in the game where Clay got injured, Clay was the only reason they weren't getting blown out. Clay was getting all sorts of buckets. Bro, it was a 3-point game in the third quarter, and Clay had like fucking 4 fouls or some shit. Or like 3 fouls. Like he was going to get 1 more, he was going to get sat. He got 1 more or 2 more, he would have got sat. They would have lost that game anyways. I'm keeping it 100. Every game in that series, none of them they won by more than 10 points. All of the Raptors wins in that series, except for one, the Raptors won by 10 points. If you watch that series, the Raptors were low-key belting them, but then they'd have moments where they collapsed as a team. You could tell they were inexperienced. Like in Game 5, the game that it pushed it to 6, bro, the Raptors were up by 6 with like 2 minutes left, and then they just sold. But, bro, with KD there, it would have been a different, we don't know. I feel like it still would have been close. Because I remember in the series, we could only really go off the regular season. In the regular season, nigga, KD was playing against them, nigga, he's putting up 54 points, and the Raptors were still belting them niggas. I remember like, yo, making bets with niggas that the Raptors gonna beat them niggas because they had too much talent on that roster. Like the second any of them niggas on the Warriors get tired, a new niggas coming in to guard them, a new all-star caliber player. And I told niggas either, I thought Curry was gonna get injured because he had bad ankles, not Clay. But I thought probably Curry and Draymond were gonna get injured or some shit, and then they were gonna lose. But anyways, I predicted. I won money off of that shit. I was telling niggas from like May.
Games. KD can miss a
My bad for the
still win
tangent.
90% of their games and turn back to that 73-9 team. Like that team was they just weren't fair. So cool. You completely skipped the process. You completely skipped the grind, and you got your little rings. But it feels like ever since he's been paying for it in little subtle ways, and those small ways are slowly chipping at his legacy. And everything I'm saying, we know this, and most importantly, he obviously knows this. That's why he's so defensive about his damn legacy. Naturally, if you're a sane, regular human being, and the player doesn't have a crazy track record off the court like a Deshaun Watson or something like that, when a player gets hurt on a grand stage like Kevin Durant did in that 2019 finals, again, he kind of becomes a sympathetic figure naturally. At that moment, everything KD did and all his basketball stuff, I really didn't care about. I was more so concerned that one of the best basketball players to ever live, his career might be completely altered. So
and by the way,
especially since he left Golden State.
Sorry, we're gonna go right back there. But niggas like, oh, the Raptors fans were cheering and shit. Fam, I watched the game live. Bro, they turned over the ball. Look at the face. Look at the faces, nigga. Bro, niggas are trying to make it seem like the Raptors fans were cheering that this nigga got injured. Bro, they stole the ball and then he fell. They stole the ball, KD fell. When they realized this nigga was injured, look at the face. Look at niggas' faces in the crowd. Niggas were not cheering that this nigga got injured, bro. I'm telling you. They were cheering because they stole the ball and they went on a fast break. If you look at his face. Hold on. Look at the nigga face. Look at the kid face. Look at the face. That's a Warrior fan, so that's different. But look at niggas' faces. Look, half of the fans aren't even looking at. They're looking at the fast break. Niggas were not cheering because KD got injured, bro. And then look after.
Did in that 2019
I don't like how niggas was doing that. Look, everyone's standing up and clapping and shit. Niggas were not happy that nigga got injured. I don't like when niggas was trying to push that narrative. Niggas were cheering about the fast break.
Look at
them all clapping and shit.
At that moment, everything KD did and all his basketball stuff, I really didn't care about. I was more so concerned that one of the best basketball players to ever live, his career might be completely altered. So at that time, especially since he left Golden State and that era was completely over and we moved past it and now he's in Brooklyn and now he's trying to work himself back. Bro, KD became somebody to root for, especially with how great he looked coming back from an injury that everybody thought at that time was career ending or at least prime career ending. In my eyes, at least for me, KD legitimately changed my perspective of an Achilles injury based on how good he looked coming back. Personally, the reason I'm so optimistic about Tyrese Halliburton and Jason Tatum and hell, even an old Dame coming back from an Achilles injury is because of what I seen KD do. So when he came back,
I'm sorry to break it to niggas, but I feel like maybe a 1-2 of them might not come back the same gang. Like there's a couple of niggas. Kyrie's out with ACL, Dame, Jason Tatum, and Tyrese. So bro, maybe 2 of the 4 are not gonna be the same, bro. I'm gonna keep it on it.
And he was playing Milwaukee, playing every single minute of those last few games, and he was putting up all these crazy numbers. And he started to pick up.
KD's a 7-foot sharpshooter. He gonna be blessed. You know what I mean?
As us, the fans, calling him the best player in the world, I think subconsciously that was us being in awe with how great he was playing, but most importantly, the fact that he was doing this off a torn Achilles. But then it's like ever since this moment, and ever since we praised him for how great he came back in that 2021 season, he's been consistently the loudest topic in the league. I've said this plenty of times. I've made multiple videos about KD, and in those videos I always say, it's not always KD's fault, but some way, somehow, he's always the common denominator.
Yeah. Yo, you know what's crazy? Everyone kept saying that the basketball gods are gonna get him for this. I remember niggas when he first went to the Warriors, and niggas was like, I don't know if he said something like, yo, people keep talking about the basketball. Someone kept like was flaming niggas for saying that, and like, yo, them niggas really caught up with this nigga. Shout out to KD, though, but yo, that shit's crazy.
Might have been the worst year for KD possible. And we know the story. It wasn't all his fault. Kyrie had the vaccination thing. James Harden left for a player that doesn't play. We get it. We remember that story. But you played Boston in that first round, and you legitimately have the worst series of your career. If you look at the ESPN experts picks for that series, most people did pick Boston. 11 out of 20 picked Boston. Nobody's seen a damn sweep. The icing on the damn cake is the shadow that you seemingly always compete against Stephen Curry. He goes on in that very same playoff run and has his best moment against that very same team. Also validating again that he never really needed you to win. It was clearly vice versa and almost making your rings look a bit fraudulent. So cool, directly after getting swept in that first round and less than a year after extending with Brooklyn, KD hijacks the offseason and requests a trade that never happened. Well, no, ultimately it did happen, just not when he wanted. Okay, so cool. Eventually you wind up in Phoenix, and that looked like the most perfect opportunity for Kevin Durant to win ever. Not blaming him for all of that, because obviously Chris Paul got hurt against Denver. Matt Ishbia went all in on this dinosaur super team 2010s top-heavy ass method that doesn't work.
This was so retarded. Oh my God.
Completely ignored depth. And once again, KD's a part of one of the biggest failed super teams, quote unquote, ever. To be on 2 teams that had 2 different teams, mind you, that had somewhat expectations. I think after they got Bradley Beal, we knew, bro, this shit don't work. Like that super team, it don't work. But to be on 2 of those teams that had some expectations and to get swept.
I mean, that is 3. So OKC with Russ and Ibaka and Harden, or like Russ and Harden and KD, and I know Harden got moved, but then to be with the Suns and then the Nets and then the Rockets now, holy fuck!
Twice in the first round, it's insane.
If I went out there for the Warriors and wasn't the Finals MVP like Kobe was with Shaq, and had moments where I average 30 a game, or get 7-8 assists, or have 40 and hit big shots, then I would say, yeah, all right, I need to prove that I can do that.
No, that's ridiculous. That's bogus as fuck. Hold on. I'm sorry. That's bogus though.
Twice in the first round.
That's bogus as fuck.
If I went out there for the Warriors and wasn't the Finals MVP like Kobe was with Shaq, and
that's bogus. Listen to me. I hate this narrative with Kobe. Oh, he didn't win the Finals MVP over Shaq. This nigga was like 22 years old. Shaq was in his prime. I don't give a fuck if it's LeBron, MJ, KD. No nigga at 21, 22, 23 is winning a Finals MVP over prime Shaq, averaging 35, 14, and 3 blocks, nigga. Nobody ever. I don't give a fuck who you can grab all time. Nobody's winning that over prime fucking Shaq, nigga. I don't even like that he tried to throw this nigga KD under the bus with that shit. I mean Kobe under the bus with that shit.
I average 30 a game, or get 7-8 assists, or have 40 and hit big shots, then I would say, yeah, all right, I need to prove that I can do that on that level. But I've done that on that level, so
He was doing that with Curry, nigga. Niggas was leaving him open for a wide open dunk to go double team Steph Curry, my nigga, at the 3 line. Just keep it on it and double team Clay and chase Clay.
Never looked at myself as like I never looked at Steph like Shaq and me as Kobe.
But now in Houston, I'm not gonna hold you. One of the reasons I was a bit optimistic about KD even going to Houston was he doesn't have to be the leader his name and resume would otherwise command him to be. We know he doesn't do that. That team already has Ime Udoka, who damn near feels like an enforcer as a coach. That team already has Fred VanVleet, one of the biggest pieces to changing the culture post the James Harden era. And KD can just come in and be KD. Don't give him too many responsibilities because stuff seemingly implodes when that's the case. But back to what feels like paying for your NBA sins. Like, no, bro, you can't run from this. Fred VanVleet gets hurt before the season even starts. Steven Adams gets hurt, one of the biggest contributors to them being arguably the best rebounding team of the 2020s. And it's like, no, KD, at 37, as a former MVP, as a former 2-time finals MVP, you have to be the leader that holds this ship down. And post the All-Star break, now going into the most important stretch of the season, what happens?
Do you have burner accounts?
Yes. I'm still gonna do the burner thing. I'm still gonna do that.
Still on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that KD shit, the KD shit's kind of crazy, gang.
Something, baby, I like just how you blushing. And maybe we could bust it at the function. Turn nothing to something. Wish you could just see the horrors of my life may upbring.